Ready? I'm goofy. I'm a guy ADD. Anybody else in the room? You paid attention because you heard the question. Cool. That means there's like 7 of y'all that were just like, what? Cool. Nah. I get defensive because a lot of people think ADD doesn't exist. You know, a lot of people think it's overdiagnosed, misdiagnosed OCD. Some people think it's exclusive to being a lazy piece of shit, which, you know, isn't mutually exclusive. But I take like a small dose of Adderall to keep my life together, and people frown on that. But I get defensive about that because whatever name you want to call it, I found a problem and a solution. You know, like the other day I was trying to cook without my Adderall, and I misplaced a raw chicken breast for 6 hours. You know, so. It took 6 hours because I kept forgetting that I was looking for raw chicken meat. I had a lot on my mind to this day. Okay, so every 6 months I send an email to the HR lady at the Guinness Book of World Records asking if I could be an adjudicator. Seems like a cool job. You get to fly around the country and judge people's world record attempts, right? You get to like fly to Shreveport and be like, nah, dude, I've seen bigger piles of toenails. Then you just go home, you know? You get to fly out to Tacoma and be like, all right, man, you got 17 hours left. Keep juggling them paper mache Quaker oatmeal, man. I ain't pressed. Up, you drop one, then you get to go home, you know? It's like, I'm sure there's like, you know, Monday shit you have to go through. Have to file expense reports, you know, travel expenses, but it's like, that's every job. It's like, why not do that while looking at a big-ass muffin? Right, so I was writing this email, and I write a couple sentences, they'd be like, oh shit, the chicken. I go look for the chicken some more. Which is weird, because I wrote a very professional email that if an employer read it, she'd have no idea that I got up like 6 or 7 times to look for chicken meat. Anyways, for a reason I haven't been able to figure out, the chicken meat ended up being on top of my TV. And now you guys know that I don't own a flat screen. But then I take a pill, all of a sudden I can count for all my chicken meat. Not just chicken, ground beef, chorizo, tofurkey. Name a meat that's in my fridge, I'll tell you where it is right now. Steak, it's in my fridge. Thank you, it's a fun game I like to play called Name the Meat in my fridge. Cool. It's not that interesting at parties. Cool. I'm from Memphis originally. Memphis is a cool town. It's still kind of stuck in the 70s. Like Atlanta, y'all are in the future, you know? Like y'all got like skim milk. But Memphis is cool now. Like you know, Memphis is still a lot of rooms. There's has smoking bars. You know, like there's a lot of soul music on the jukebox. And 2 blocks away from where I grew up, there's still a functioning porn theater. It's called the Paris Adult Theater. I used to go past it on the way to elementary school in the morning. And what's weird is every time I go home, it is still in business. I looked it up. It started in the late 70s. That meant that it survived the savings and loan crisis of 1987. It survived the dot-com bubble bursting in the 90s. It survived the 2008 recession. It's like, what do the people who run this porn theater know about business longevity that Lehman Brothers didn't? Like, how many MBAs work for them? Like, there's free internet porn. Borders Books didn't survive online book sales. They were like a nice business, too. They had like a parking lot and like glass and like a manager, like, you know, get to work on time, save your money. It doesn't work, you know? But every time I drove by the Paris, their parking lot always had like this like nursing pit bull. It's like laying there. And apparently that's more conducive to profit, so. Is there like a niche market of like porn snobs to keep this place in business? Like, laptop, sure if it works. But for me, there's just nothing like the theater. You haven't heard until you've heard it in surround sound. Sorry, that was kind of gross. I apologize. It's like you hear other comedians be gross, I'm like, well, I should be gross, you know, because there's some sickos out there, and I'd like to impress them. Cool. I was in Florida a couple months ago, and I was talking about dolphins with this lady. She was like a marine biologist, and she was telling me about this study where apparently back in the 60s, they're trying to figure out if like dolphins could have language, so these scientists like live with these dolphins for like 6 months. And apparently when you live with a dolphin for 6 months, they have like these sexual urges that need to be expressed. And so part of the study involved these scientists like jerking off these dolphins, which is like, where were these scientists when I was a dolphin, right? Cool. Thank y'all very much. That's been my time. Get over to Sean.